Sports Broadcasting Network. Hey, man, it's Friday. It's Saturday. Actually, yeah, it's Saturday. You know what Saturday means. Saturday means NASCOM Online Saturday night. That's what that means. Also means
it's Treason Day.
It's Treason Day. If your name is Sam Cooper Bennett. Mind me, I'm going to tell you a funny story about that here, Tony. But welcoming up in the booth with me, Byron Rodney. You know him. Co-founder of ESBN, the Sports Broadcasting Network, Mr. Tony Pat Trapasso.
Hi, kids.
Yeah. It's Independence Day. And are we going to get some aliens out here on this track? You know where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Brickyard 250 for NASCOM Online Saturday night. 250 miles of racing. That's 100 laps. 30 laps to the end of stage 1, 60 to the end of stage 2, and then we race it out to the end. What do you think Indy's got for these guys? What do you think these guys got for Indy? Talk to me.
Well, from what I've seen in practice, Byron, we do have some aliens that are out on the track right now. I'm looking at the practice times. Tim Bills, Mark Arthur, and Doug Thompson all going sub 55-second laps.
Woo! They put some time and effort into the they put some time and effort into these setups, didn't they?
They did, but the only thing you got to watch out for is everybody. The wind has changed from the direction that they were practicing in. It was coming out of the north. It's now coming out of the west, which means that where you thought you had the setup pegged, you're probably going to be tick on the loose side now.
Yeah, checking the current conditions, 85 degrees air temperature. Look at that track temperature, 125. With the wind and those corners, we're going to get some slipping and sliding happening if they don't get that mechanical grip in there.
Very much so, and that wind right now is climbing, which is never a good sign here at the Brickyard. Coming straight out of the west at 19 miles an hour. That's insane.
That is insane. Yeah, qualifying underway. We got a couple minutes left in qualifying. So far, the way they look like they are going to stack up here, if I take a look at this.
And Tim Bills just went quicker than he did in practice.
A 54.279 for Tim Bills. Alec Bercellio holding down that second spot with a 55.163. Do the math. That's almost a full second slower.
Yeah. And Alex isn't too far off what he was practicing at. And Tim did get some draft help when he put up the sub 55 in practice for his race setup. So that's got me concerned as what is actually going to happen when we finally throw the green flag on this piece tonight.
Yeah.
It's going to be Katie bar the door.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm taking a look out there on the track, and I don't see Hello Kitty anymore. I'm looking at My Little Pony, Mark Arthur, taking some qualifying laps.
Oh yeah, I was going to mention to you that he got a new paint scheme so that you don't have any confusion anymore of what's on that car.
And folks, if you hear any pop, pop, bang, bang going on in the background off of my broadcasting setup, it's just it sounds like Fallujah outside the window out here today.
Okay, hold on. Am I seeing what I think I'm seeing?
What are you seeing?
I need to just double check something on the front of Mark Arthur's car. Yes, that is a Flufflepuff.
A Flufflepuff? You know what a Flufflepuff is.
Told you, man, I'm a brony.
All right. Well, Mark Arthur slots into that top spot, runs a 54.216. That's going to move that 54.279 to Tim Bills to second place. Mark Arthur laying down one heck of a hot lap. I'm looking
picking up over a half a second from his practice time.
Well, I'm looking at the 7th place qualifier. Kevin O'Brien ran a 56.561, 2 seconds off the pace of Mark Arthur. As we can see, the cars are now going to start gridding up.
Yeah, so there's, of the 14 drivers that are going to show up tonight and take the green, half of them did not take time in qualifying, not knowing what turn one is really going to bring to them.
Yeah. Kind of like living out real life. You know, real life NASCAR didn't get any practice time out there. You know, Xfinity got a little bit of practice time. First time we've seen the stock cars in one of NASCAR's top tier series on the road course in Indianapolis today on TV. And I watched that race, and I got to tell you, what an ending, man. If my name was AJ Allmendinger, I got a few words to have with another driver in the 22 Menards car, but what a finish to that race. Congratulations, Chase Briscoe.
Well, if it was a short track Saturday night, like your local dirt track, there would have been a meeting of the minds and torque wrenches would have been involved.
Yeah, and cheater bars as well.
Cheater bars and torque wrenches would have been swung at people's heads. Anyways.
Yeah. Taking a look at the starting grid tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Starting up on the pole, the number 12, Mark Arthur, followed by Tim Bills as second place to his outside or inside elbow, depending on where he wants to take the start at. Alec Vercellio is going to line up third, Dalton Kilroe fourth, Nick Okia fifth, Miles Morris slotting in on that sixth spot. Kevin J. O'Brien qualified seventh, and then the rest, it did not take time to be Samuel Baumgarten in the 53. He's going to roll off eighth, followed by Doug Thompson in ninth, James Grumpy Bunce in 10th, and I understand we got new livery on that. I'll have to go take a look at it. Tex the Boss Perry going to roll off 11th. Alec Caron's going to roll off in the 12th spot. And the final row that we're going to see tonight is going to be Aaron D. Johnson, followed by Hoot Baker, who's going to start shotgun on the field.
We got 14 cars scheduled to roll off tonight. 100 laps the scheduled distance. Pace car is underway. We are pacing here at the Brickyard, Byron, and while you get a quick second, go ahead and take a look at that livery on Buncey's car.
Let's see if we can focus in on old Grumpy. See if I can get the high-speed drone out there. You know what? Look at that. Patriotic colors on red, white, and blue on old Grumpy. The LB Plastics machine. Shout out to the guys at LB Plastic. I'm still waiting for the invite to the poker game.
You're always waiting for the invite to the poker game.
Yeah, I know. That's a sharp-looking paint job you got on the 22 there.
Take a look. Wait till you see the trunk lid. I did a special ESPN logo for that.
Oh, well, I'm just going to have to get the high-speed drone out there to follow that.
And you're also going to need to take a look at what I put on the back spoiler.
Oh, boy.
You're going to be able to see it from the 88 car.
Hey, student drivers out there.
No, student driver's not out there. Oh, you'll see sooner or later.
Yeah, we'll catch up to it. We're going to focus in on the start of this thing.
Field working its way through turn 3. Mark Arthur going to have the button. Looks like he's going to roll off from the inside lane.
Didn't get a sense from the drivers how long a fuel run is going to be tonight, but I didn't know we had stages. 30 laps, and then we're going to run another 30 to the end of stage 2 to lap 60, and then we're going to run it to the end. 100 laps tonight here at Indianapolis. My man Pat, take it away.
Well, pace car is in. The only thing that's left to do is pull those belts a little tight and Grandpa Papa Viagra. It's time to get it on Independence Day here at the Brickyard. Green flag comes out. Arthur and Bills rolling side by side. They're still stacking them too deep as everybody seems to get away all right as they haul it off into turn number 1. Bills and Arthur still side by side. Here comes Kilroe.
Yeah, look out for Dalton Kilroe. I understand he got a little bit of setup. Someone down on that inside apron way low. That looked to be Kevin O'Brien took the service road. Maybe doing a little bit of strategy, falling back to the rear. Couldn't tell you.
I'm going to go out and say yeah, only because him and Hoot Baker, they were working pretty well together. in the practice session, and they know that they can run cleanly around each other. So I'm thinking, better safe than pregnant. They're just going to try to find their own way around here right now.
Well, they're running shotgun on the field.
Getting the lead a little bit.
As they work their way up on the back end, Johnson. Kevin gets around him. Luke Baker kind of falling off in the rear of that. He's rolling in the back. But taking a look at the front, Tim Bills is coming around Mark Arthur and move him to P1. Tim Bills rolling P1. Mark Arthur rolling 0.3 of a second off of the pace there. Guys are going to be looking for adjustments, wholesale adjustments on those pit stops to tighten these cars up, loosen them up, do what they need via air pressure, spring offsets, and do what they got to do. It's a hot track, so these cars are heavy and they're going to slide all around this track. Did I lose my broadcast, buddy?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now we got you.
Yeah, this is one of those whole things about me needing internet that doesn't include the word Wi-Fi. As Mark Arthur would slide for life coming through turn 1, definitely has that car set up a little on the loose side. Not what you want to see this early in a fuel run. They're working lap 3 right now, as getting kind of strung out towards the front. The hot session right now is right back at our good friend Grumpy Bunce, as he's slugging it out with Nick Okia and Doug Thompson.
Yeah, Nick Okia, Doug Thompson, and Grumpy Bunce. 3-car battle going on the track right there with the 3 of them. The number 22, the 85.
And, Grumpy.
Taking a look at the... Well, he's wearing the number 25 on the outside of the car.
That is Miles Morris making his first firing off here with the kids in NASCOM.com online.
Yeah, Miles Morris and Grumpy Bunce and Doug Thompson all knotted together. Miles on the outside line and hanging in there tight.
He's going to lose a couple of spots there as they work their way out of turn number 2. A little bit of contact between Morris and Bunce, though.
Doug Thompson getting the better of that exchange. Moved Miles up to the 7th position and just slapped Grumpy back down to 8th. Taking a look back at the top of the field, a half a second breakaway for our leader, Tim Bills, followed by the, well, I would say Hello Kitty, I can't, it's My Little Pony, number 12. Purple paint scheme on the number 12 Mark Arthur machine. Dalton Kilroe, don't look now. Sam Baumgarten has worked his way right up to the back of that car.
He has, and getting back to that battle we were watching earlier, Miles Morris tagged the wall coming out of 3, and he is dropping like a stone right now. Yeah,
Sam Baumgarten gets around Dalton Kilroe. You can see Miles Morris in the machine. He is falling off the pace a little bit. And he is falling into Tex Perry, Alec Karen, and Nick Okia, and Grumpy. That is a 5. Throw a blanket over those 5 cars on the track.
Actually, that's Kevin O'Brien. Grumpy got by him cleanly.
I keep looking at that blue paint job thinking it's Grumpy. My bad.
Yeah, no, that is our good friend, the Little Thunder from Down Under, Mr. Kevin O'Brien, driving the Sunoco number 84 whip.
Yeah, you know, hey, folks, give me a break. Oh, gets it a little loose off the corner there, does Kevin O'Brien. Give me a break, folks. It is Independence Day or Trader's Day, however you look at it, as our co-founder Sam Cooper Bennett always tells me every year. Being how he's British, he can say that.
Yeah, no, he can talk all the smack he wants. Who won? We did.
Yeah, but you know, it's the funny part of this story is he hit me with that Happy Trader's Day one day, and I said, "You're welcome." And he says, "What?" I said, "You're welcome." He says, "What do you mean?" I says, "Well, when we did our family ancestry, I found that I have a direct ascendant to sign the Declaration of Independence. He was a delegate from the state of Delaware and made the midnight ride to cast the deciding vote for independence." So I says, "You call it Happy Trader's Day, and my family was instrumental in making us Trader's Day. You're welcome." Aaron D-Dot Johnson off the track and on the hauler already. Either that or we had a connection issue, my friend.
No, he manually disconnected that one.
Ah.
So,
Alt F4 in the air. Alt F4 in the air. No cautions. Working lap 7 of 100 already. This is starting to fly by pretty quick.
it is, and we're about halfway through the fuel run right now. The question is, are these guys going to want to get tires before the fuel? Oh, man, that was a scary moment.
Closest battle I got on the track right now is Dalton Kilroe. Alec Marcellio. Dalton Kilroe kind of fell back a bit. He's currently in the 5th position, all over the back of Alec Marcellio.
Yeah, the field kind of getting a little strung out right now, up towards the front, because the guys that are up there kind of have an idea what they're doing. They're just kind of riding right now just to see what they've got for this first stint, to figure out what type of changes they're going to need to make. Where you really see the battling happen is back around the boss Tex Perry, him, Okia, Morris, and the 84 of O'Brien. Those 4 cars are the ones that are probably closest on track right now.
Yeah, that group of 4 just riding in the back. They know they're going to get bunched up at a caution at lap 30, but can they make it 30 laps on a tank of Go Fast here at Indianapolis?
Absolutely not. If you conserve, you can make it 18.
Well, then I would be looking for them to split that, and they're probably going to be coming in probably around lap 14 and 15.
It's going to be right around that area, because you don't really want to press the issue if you don't have to. And we know that fresh tires, especially here at the Brickyard, are a godsend whenever you can get them. So whoever blinks first, they're going to force the hand of everybody else on track.
Well, folks, if you want to know what 1.3 second difference on the track is, take a look at that car in the front that just came off of turn 4. That was just getting into turn 4. That would be your leader, Tim Bills. And that car behind him, 1.3 seconds back, that is Mark Arthur. Followed by Samuel Baumgarten. We lose sight of him from the blimp in the grandstands there. As they cross the start-finish line. You want to know what it takes to get around Indianapolis Motor Speedway? Let's take a ride with the helmet cam actually, we've got a camera inside on a gyro. Inside the leader's car, Tim Bills.
Yeah, I didn't get a helmet cam on Tim today. I got one on Mark, though.
He hustles it down the back straight. He brings it into turn 3, turn 4, brings it down low to that apron line. We're going to see what it takes to get around here as he's picking him up, putting him down at a pace of about 56 seconds a lap. As he comes off of turn 4, brings it down low by that apron line, washes it way out wide to the wall, got his foot mashed on that loud pedal. He's in it, all around it, and through it, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see the flag stand go by right there, we start a lap. As he brings it to turn 1, which is an important corner entry, doing 183 miles an hour, brings off that speed down to about 150, brings it up the short chute, hustles it off to turn 2, makes that apex as best he can so he can carry all the momentum he can down that back straight. These corners they don't look that hard, but they are so technical, because if you lose any momentum whatsoever, you're going to get tracked down by the car behind you.
Mark Arthur just tagged the wall coming out of 2, by the way.
Mark Arthur hitting the wall off of 2. Well, let's see if we can go catch what happened there.
It wasn't a hard hit, but he did brush it.
Tire's starting to give up the ghost a little bit. Like we said, it is 114 on the track, so it has come down about 10 degrees since we took the green flag today, Johnny.
Yeah, it has, but anybody want a cat?
Still having fun with that furry little pest.
Yeah, I just shot her with a water pistol to get her off my But that has definitely brought the teammates closer together. Mark Arthur being reeled in right now by Sam Baumgarten. And Sam was spotting for Mark last week, and he's got some points to make up. So if he can get by his teammate, all's fair in love and racing.
Yeah, taking a look at those points. Let me take a look at the standings after Pocono. Mark Arthur sitting on top, 14 points back to our second-place point holder, Dalton Kilrow. Samuel Baumgarten, by virtue of missing that race and not racing it, fell 2 spots to the third spot, 35 points off of the lead. The boss, Tex Mary, is holding down fourth, and Grumpy Bunts is holding down the fifth spot in points. Close battle between Mark Arthur and Samuel Baumgarten.
Yeah, they seem to have gotten it figured out. Looks like Sam's just content to ride right now, as we're getting near where we're probably going to see green flag stops start happening by then.
Now, is it me, or are they reeling in the leader, Tim Bills?
Say again?
Is it me, or are they actually reeling in that leader, Tim Bills? He's down to a second lead. He had more than that.
They are reeling him back in. Tim, I think, is kind of gone into fuel conservation mode. You definitely cannot make it on fuel, but the question is, are we going to see guys, start playing with the weight jackers during the pit stop, or are they going to wait until the stage end?
Man, seeing that car, Tim, he is just flat tracking it around that corner. 14 laps that we've completed here at Indianapolis, knowing that we can only do about 18 tops. I'm looking for, if you're going to split the middle of the stage, you're going to bring it in pit side here the next lap or two.
Absolutely, and you don't really want to gamble it. It's way too early in the race to be gambling anything. You can kind of figure out what you can do on a fuel load, but you don't want to run out of fuel here.
No.
It's a long way to push the car.
Yeah, we talked about what it would be like to run out of fuel at Pocono. This is another of those tracks you don't want to run it out of fuel. Flat,
if you run out of fuel coming out of turn 3, you can usually make it to your pit stall. But if you're not on the exit of turn 3 and you run out of fuel, you're pretty much screwed.
Don't look now, but Mark Arthur has cut that 1 second lead down another half a second, or he's down another, 6/10, as they are definitely tracking down the leader, Tim Bills.
Yeah, Bills is pretty much, taking his foot off the throat and just kind of riding right now. They keep it out another lap. We're going to see pit stops relatively shortly here. Question is, who's going to blink first?
Exactly, and seeing that lap times have fallen off a good 2 seconds per lap on this fuel run, Tony, I'm thinking the first one to blink is going to be the first one to gain an advantage, and that first one is Doug Thompson.
Absolutely. Thompson coming in.
The first and only one off of this go-round by the looks of it.
Yeah, I was going to say the only one.
Nope. Yep. Doug Thompson, the only one bringing it in on lap 16.
And the question is that going to force everybody else's hand because they saw Thompson go pit side, or does anybody that was in front of him know he's gone pit side?
Well, taking a look back to the front of the pack, Tim Bill's still on the lead, Mark Arthur behind him. Although he's cut that another halfway out of it. Sam Baumgarten all over the back deck of Mark Arthur as these guys keep it out another lap.
They do, as they flash by Doug Thompson, who just went a lap down, which he is going to get back as soon as these leaders go pit side. But, the question is what type of laps or lap times are these guys going to be giving up to Doug, as he is now pretty much up to speed as they haul it down the back straightaway, and you can kind of see him in the background as your leaders haul off into turn number 3.
Yeah, he's not that far off the mark. The leaders bring it around turn 3-4 complex once more. And let's see, are they going to hold another timeout, or are we going to see pit stops?
Bringing it in. Leaders are bringing it in. Looks like
having trouble getting her rolled down. Side. There goes Doug Thompson by the leaders.
Okia has gone pit side. The Boss Tex Perry has gone pit side. The leaders have gone pit side. Doug Thompson just got his lap back.
Looks like
everybody except Grumpy.
Grumpy kept it out there. Kevin O'Brien, he's kept it out there. Hoot Baker, he's kept it out there. 3 cars have yet to see pit lane.
Grumpy was able to steal the lead on that lap, so expect to see him come pit side this time.
Picking up that bonus point for lap led. And as tight as the points battle is in this season, every point counts.
Absolutely. As Grumpy's got a pretty conservative setup in that car. If you take a look, he's not really given up a ton. It looks like it might be a little on the tight side right now. So he might want to move that track bar if he finally brings it pit side this time. And it looks like Tim Bill's winning the battle off pit road.
Tim Bills wins that exchange off. Mark Arthur's right behind him. Samuel Baumgarten, he's fallen back a little bit more, but they have all still cycled well out in front of Doug Thompson. Track position being so key at this place. Squirt bottle with the cat again?
No. I'm just having connection issues, and there's not really much I can do about it.
Ah, gotcha. Well, Doug Thompson cycled out through that pit stop. He's up to the 8th position. So coming in a couple laps earlier, did not seem, well, he's up to 7th. He did gain a little on that exchange through that whole thing. But Tim Bills is still out in front, 3-second advantage over Mark Arthur in second, and Samuel Baumgarten right on the tail of Mark Arthur. Got to go back another 6 seconds to our 4th place machine, Dalton Kilrow, as we are kind of scattered, smattered, and whatever, addered all over this track.
Yeah, this field is definitely more strung out than my X, but get your hate mail coming, folks. Don't care anymore. So yeah, Bills, Arthur, Baumgarten, Kilrow, Vecellio. Grumpy cycles out in 6th, and that's kind of impressive.
Cycles out right behind Doug Thompson. I'm showing he's about 2.5 seconds behind Doug Thompson. Doug Thompson.
The iRacing timing and scoring.
What's that?
Yes, I'm about to kick iRacing timing and scoring.
Yeah, iRacing timing and scoring is Grumpy's back in 9th right now.
Yeah. Anyways. Doug Thompson actually picked up a couple of spots there. He was running 10th before that series of pit stops. Is actually running 7th now. So, pit strategy playing a positive for the driver of the Friday the 13th, number 13.
That would be Doug Thompson. Tim Bill's still a 2.5 second lead, but Mark Arthur, okay, is it my eyes? I got to watch timing and scoring a little closer. I think Mark Arthur's cutting into that lead a little bit. 2.5 this go round.
Well, I got him at 2:87 on the last lap. Let's see what it is when they cross the stripe this time. And there goes Bills across the yard of bricks.
And there goes Mark Arthur.
There goes Arthur, and yes, he is. I got him at 2:43.
0.4 a lap. That's going to take him 6 laps to catch up. That's well within the 30-lap window for the caution. for the end of stage one.
Absolutely. I'm watching Tim Bills go through the corner, and he is not going to have a set of tires last. He is just punishing those rear tires.
Yeah, I see the back end of that car. Seems to be kicking out on corner exit every time around. He has got a real loose setup, and it's only going to get looser as that car loses weight in the tail end on fuel.
Well, it's like I was telling Grumpy earlier. These cars aren't that different from what I worked on in the Cup Garage. And what we always did was we set the car up on the tight side of neutral and then use the brake bias adjustment to get the car to loosen up under braking. But we always wanted it on the tight side of neutral, only because if you're on the tight side of neutral, you don't have to worry about backing the car into the wall.
Yeah, tight is going to be when you turn the steering wheel, you tell the car, hey man, I want to go left. Car says, nah, I think I'm going to keep going straight. That's tight.
Yes. And loose is when you
another joke at the expense of your ex. That's what loose is.
And the back end wants to swap ends.
Loose is another joke at the expense of your ex.
Hot dog in the Holland Tunnel.
I always say if we took my ex's brain and we set it on the edge of a razor blade, it would look like a BB rolling down a 4-lane highway.
Well, I said that one time. There was a young lady I was dating in college, and I used the term lady loosely. And after I broke up with her, a good friend of mine who was actually rooming across the hall from her, who I'm still friends with today, was the young lady who said this statement. She says to me, if you took her brain and shoved it up a gnat's ass, it would look like a BB in a boxcar. Okay, how do you really feel?
That's wild intelligence, folks. And look at the move Samuel Baumgarten just put on Mark Arthur to take second place.
And don't look now, but the lead that Tim Bills had is now down to 1.5 seconds.
1.5 seconds. Now, these two tracked him down, have cut into that lead that much, and they were racing hard. Normally, when the leader looks in the rearview mirror and he sees a side-by-side or he sees a hard battle for the position right behind him, he's a happy camper. But these two, they're closing the gap even while they were battling. That leader's got to be thinking, oh boy, where's the Jaws music?
Exactly. And, the thing is, too, you kind of got to feel for our favorite hokey, Hoot Baker, right now, because he knows what's coming behind him.
Yeah, Miles Morris is already a lap down. Hoot Baker, he's next. Tim Bills closing up on the tail end of Hoot Baker right there.
So he's got to get by Hoot as quickly and as efficiently as he possibly can. And it looks like Hoot's giving him the racing line. So, ooh, hang on there, son.
Yeah, it looks like Tim got the little bit of that outside wall.
No, he caught the rumble strips and was chasing it. He didn't get the outside wall yet, but he almost did. He was trying to.
Hats off to Hoot Baker as he swings it wide and he sees the second place car coming. Gives him that position without a fight. Not holding anyone up. He says, I want to decide this up in front of me. Go right ahead. I'm going to have a good view.
And Sam Baumgarten has really closed the door and closed the gap.
As we see Mark Arthur going around Hoot Baker on the inside right now. Taking a look back at the front, Sam Baumgarten, Tim Bills. We got 4 laps to go. He's cut that 1.5 second lead down to 0.5 second. This is going to be interesting. See who takes this stage win.
It is, and we're 0.5 second away from, the pits. The pits are going to be closed within the next 2 laps, and Tim Bills bobbles in the short chute between 1 and 2. That lets Baumgarten really start to reel him in. Baumgarten with a full head of steam as they haul it down the back straightaway.
Yeah, that full head of steam has just cut that lead down to 0.2. And I think Baumgarten can smell the lead right now, and Tim Bills can smell what's coming.
And Bills, he's driving in his mirror right now as he just completely blew the entrance to turn 3.
Yeah, and that is so important that he hit those marks in those turns, especially in turn 3 and turn 1, because you need that momentum carried through 2 and 4 to carry you down that long stretch as Sam Baumgartner has caught him, and look for him to make the move in the next 2 laps.
I think he's just toying with his prey right now.
Kind of like a big cat playing with a dead mouse.
Or a kitten playing with my back. You really want to get made into Chinese food. Get your hate mail coming, folks.
Yep.
I make no apologies.
Well, you know what? I was in San Francisco at one time, visiting, and I did go to a market, and I was wearing a shirt that said PETA, People for the Eating of Tasty Animals, and I wish you could have seen the hate looks I got.
Oh, yeah. No, I can only imagine. Of course, you're also.
Meanwhile, look at this battle up front. Tim Bills hanging tough on the outside, but Sam Baumgarten getting it done.
Baumgarten with the nose out front as they come across the yard of bricks, and
give it to Tim Bills crossing the yard of bricks on the drag race.
4 1,000ths of a second.
Wow.
Let's quote the paint, ladies and gentlemen.
That was whatever bugs that Tim Bills, had ran through, plastered on the front of his bumper. That's the margin that he passed him by at the start-finish line. That outside momentum for Tim Bills on his setup is just amazing. But Samuel Baumgarten's got the preferred line going through 3 and 4.
He's got
bringing it down.
There.
He's got the clear. And move Samuel Baumgarten to the point. New leader, 53.
And the pits are closed, so
everyone's good to go on fuel.
The stage is out.
Looking for the caution flag to come out next time they cross the start-finish line. Mark Arthur has caught the back of Tim Bills. Is Mark Arthur going to be able to get it done by the time we get back across the start-finish line?
The answer is a definite maybe.
Taking a look at these two racing hard. Mark Arthur, to that outside wall. That definite maybe just turned into I don't think so.
Yeah, the chances are slim and none, and Slim's already got his coat on.
Yeah, looking down the right side of Mark Arthur's car, and definitely the wheel wells of the fender flares are now flat.
And that is not the most aerodynamic shape for that car.
No, and aerodynamic is very important here at this speedway.
It's more important here than it is at even a place like Talladega, because you need it for the downforce. And give the stage to Tim Bills as the caution comes out. Sam Baumgarten, Tim Bills, Mark Arthur,
Alex
waiting on Alex Vecchilio hanging on for 4th, Dalton Kilroe for 5th, Alex Karen.
Look at old Grumpy sneaking up in there for 7th place points.
Alex Karen hanging on for 6th, Grumpy for 7th, Tex Perry in 8th.
Rounded out by Nick Okia and Doug Thompson.
And Doug Thompson hanging on for the last stage point. Now the good news is, for Hoot Baker anyways, he is going to get his lap back.
Yeah, Miles Morris having a rough go of it here at this. I haven't seen him out here before, have you?
I don't ever recall seeing him run with the boys yet.
Well, looking at this season, he must have, and it must have been races that I missed due to things I got going on, but he's got 6 starts. I
stand corrected.
But he's having a rough time tonight.
I've only got 4 starts.
Yeah. Well, shit. If I look back down, Byron Rodney, I am in. Yeah, I got 1 start, and that was when I ran Sonoma.
No, what I'm saying is I've only been in the booth for 4 races.
Oh, well. Yeah, there is that. All right. Pace car has picked up the field. Sam Baumgarten's going to leave that charge down pit road. But looking at the gap between, okay, these cars had better catch up if they expect to try to make up any spots on pit road.
Well, the thing is, from what I was seeing, these guys are going to have to take wholesale swings at their sets. Expect to see these guys cranking on every weight jacking post that they can possibly get a wrench onto during these pit stops.
Sam Baumgarten leads the charge down to pit lane. Tim Bills, Mark Arthur right behind him. We're going to have to see who actually gets it off of pit lane first. Slow down pit lane.
As Alex Cairn slides right through his pit stall.
That's going to cost him a spot or two. Taking a look at the end of pit road. Camera showing that here we go. Drag race is on. Samuel Baumgarten. Tim Bills getting out ahead of Mark Arthur.
Just barely.
Looked like he kind of shoved Mark Arthur out of his way a little bit there.
Well, luckily, coming out of your pit stall, iRacing does ghost the car. So you kind of don't actually make contact.
Well, I'll tell you what. How about we get a little bit of a chat with our stage winner, Mr. Sam Baumgarten, see if I can catch him on the radio. Sam Baumgarten, this is Tony and Byron in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Man, congratulations, stage one. Looked like you got the, you can go to the whip on that car late in fuel run, man. Tell me about your setup. How's it going for you?
Setup feels really good. It's a little tight going into 3, but I think Mark helped me rectify that problem. Thanks to him for the setup, because I tried like hell to make this thing work for me all morning, and I just couldn't do it. So without Mark's help, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at.
Well, you know, Byron and I were talking, and some of you guys looked pretty squirrely towards the end of the fuel run, you know, as the tires wore off. Any changes you want to share with us that you may or may not have made?
I actually haven't changed a thing. Feels good to me. So loose race car is a fast race car, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it seems to be loosening up.
She's definitely a little over that line, but if you got the throttle control, you'll be all right.
Well, there you go. You heard it, folks. The pilot of the number 53 Dr. Squatch machine got the point. Let's see if he can keep it out there this time. Good luck with the rest of the race, my friend.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
That was your race leader, Mr. Sam Baumgarten, loving that loose car.
As the lights are out on the Ford Mustang GT 500 pace car. So Byron, real quick, news coming out of Indianapolis today that 7-time champion Jimmy Johnson will not race tomorrow for his possible tie-breaking 6th win. Or no, he will not be able to join the 5-time Indianapolis win club, joining Jeff Gordon and Michael Schumacher tomorrow. Tested positive for COVID-19.
Yep, he is in isolation. Him and his wife both tested positive, doing the best they can to keep the girls, their children, safe from it. He's at his home in Colorado. Justin Allgaier is going to take over at the controls of the 48 Ally machine tomorrow.
And you know right now, after the race today in the Xfinity Series, that Allgaier's got all eyes on him because he had a hell of a run today, and he's got some big shoes to fill. And I think if anybody can do it, it's the Alligator.
Yeah, well, Ford Mustang pace car is going to take that hard left turn right now, right there into pit lane. Sam Baumgarten's got control of the field. He matches a loud pedal, and he makes all that noise with it. Got his foot in it, all around it, and through it. Says, see you boys, I'm out of here. Try and catch me if you can.
And look at the start his teammate Mark Arthur got. I mean, that's the advantage to having a teammate like that, starting right behind you. Tim Bills just got screwed. plain and simple. Who was that going for a ride? I think it was the boss.
Taking a look back at the boss. Working side by side back there. Trying to get around Alec Karen right now.
No, I stand corrected. It was Doug Thompson going on a wild ride, skating it down to the inside, just barely able to keep it off the inside wall on the restart coming through 1 and 2.
Well, he kept the fenders on it.
Scary moment for Doug.
Yeah, kept the fenders on it, but looking back at the front, as Tim Bills has got Mark Arthur all over him. Mark Arthur makes that move to the inside. Mark Arthur looking for that second place. Tim Bills just saying, man, I got the high side figured out here.
Well, that's just it. Tim just made that pass the hard way because Mark and Sam were off to the races.
Ooh, that looked like Mark tapped that wall one more time.
Yes. Not what you're looking for this early in a stage. As it looks like Tim Bills has a short run set and Mark and Sam have a long run set.
And all three of them look like they're just dirt tracking it off of those corners. Just
they are. I would love to be meet with their tire specialist right now and find out what the rear tires looked like coming off of those cars.
Using every bit of the outside.
I'm guessing somewhere south of 75% tire wear left. Which, ladies and gentlemen, in iRacing terms, those tires are spent.
Yeah. And don't forget, folks, new tire model and new damage model on these cars, you can blow tires on these things now.
You can, and I'm expecting to see it during the last stage. Somebody is really going to try to get after it, and they're going to blow a rear tire.
I just cannot get over how much Tim Bills is just drifting that car around the corner.
That's the car I'm kind of thinking is the first suspect of possibly blowing a tire during the final stage. And for those of you watching right now in chat, Miss Constance, thank you for joining us again.
Miss Constance, as always.
Miss Constance, happy to have you with us. And everybody watching, go ahead in the Facebook chat or the YouTube chat, depending on wherever you are. Go ahead and let us know what you think this stage is going to look like after the finish.
Oh, and also, folks, help us spread the word. ESPN, we've hit milestones with subscribers and followers on both YouTube and Facebook. We need you to encourage a few more to, subscribe and follow on YouTube and Facebook. We hit a magic number. You're going to have all your announcers having matching tattoos saying ESPN on them.
Get to like, favorite, and subscribe. Reflog, reshare it, tattoo it on your face.
I ain't tattooing it on my face, but it'll get tattooed somewhere, folks. Somewhere we can actually share the photo.
Right above the exit only tattoo on your butt?
No, thank you. No tramp stamp for me. But, that'd be funny. We can get Sam Cooper Bennett to put a tramp stamp on.
Sam already said that's where he's getting it. He's getting an ESPN tramp stamp. And I believe it's when we reach 2K.
I think it was, he wanted it 3. We'll see. We'll take up that conversation with him. Probably a new topic for the next podcast we do. Taking a look now, Mark Arthur did manage to get around Tim Bills. Tim Bills fires off fast, but damn, he eats up the rear end on that car, and Mark Arthur up to second place.
Absolutely, as they are quickly approaching another round of green flag pit stops.
We're working lap 40 of, I would look for him to come in the next 5 if they want to split it down the middle. It didn't really work out for Doug Top. Well, he did pick up track position, but he lost it after that little after the restart there.
Yeah. And Doug was able to salvage a top 10. And I'm white knuckling it watching Tim Bills go through 1 and 3, because every time he comes through those two corners,
you see him drift out to the inside or the outside wall in that short shoot, every one.
Another coat of paint on that car or on the wall, and he's in trouble. But
you're gonna slide for life.
Just in total command. Sam Baumgarten just in complete command of this race right now. Mark Arthur kind of just in riding mode as they do the Indy snake down the back straightaway.
Trying to break that draft up as much as he can.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, teammates, what's that? That's the one thing I love about the fact that Mark Arthur and Sam Baumgarten are teammates. They only have one rule as teammates. And well, it's actually 1.5 rules. The first rule is try not to wreck each other. The caveat to that is, if you do wreck each other, make sure it's a Sports Center highlight.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you're gonna go big, you either go big or go home.
Yeah, it's not don't wreck each other. It's try not to wreck each other. And if you do, make sure that both cars are complete write-offs.
Yeah, the only thing you're going to be bringing back to the hauler with you at the end of the race would be the steering wheel.
Forget bringing it back to the hauler. The only thing you're going to be able to unload from the truck is going to be the steering wheel.
Make sure there's a spare parts sale going on in the parking lot.
Oh, you mean like the last time I raced at Pocono and kind of put one in about row 17 of the first turn parking lot?
Oh, yeah. Or the first race that I actually raced at ESPN broadcast. The first race I ever did with Paskey's League, you guys were broadcasting, and I went cartwheeling down the Long Pond straightaway.
Tim Bill's the first one to blink this time.
Tim Bill's bringing her pit side already, looking for that fast speed. He knows he's lost about a second a lap at this point.
And you've got to think he's going to have to play with the weight jackers and or the track bar. As, yeah, that's exactly what's going on. Right sides only.
Ooh, that's got to be an interesting little strategy. We're going to have to see what everyone else does. He's just purchased himself a whole hell of a lot of real estate on this track, Tony.
Well, the problem is, and you're well aware of it just as I am, usually only taking right sides,
that's going to loosen that car
heck out of the car. And he's already fighting a loose condition, so I'm hoping he just jacked as much as you can into those weight jackers to try to shift some of the wedge in that car.
You know what? That's a hell of a ballsy call right there, because you think about it, he got in and out of the pits. We saw Doug Thompson was the first one to blink the last go-round. Doug Thompson got in, got out, went a lap down, just behind the leaders. Look where Tim Bills is on the track. He got in, got out, and he is still on the lead lap. Caution coming out now is not going to hurt him at all.
No, it's not. And,
as a matter of fact, caution coming out now, before anyone else makes their stop, is going to move him to the front of the field. Interesting strategy move. We're going to have to see when our leaders blink. Sam Baumgarten out in front, followed by Mark Arthur about 2 seconds back, and you got to go another 4.5 seconds back to Alex Bercellio.
Yeah, and, I'm keeping an eye on your leader, Sam Baumgarten, right now.
Don't look now, but check out the fourth position car. And fifth. These two guys are sneaking up on us under the radar there, my friend.
And, of course, he's talking about our good friend, Mr. Grumpy himself, James Bunce, in the Stars and Stripes number 22 this week, as the boss, Tex Perry, slugging it out with Dalton Kilrow. Not the run Dalton was hoping for tonight, Byron.
No, Dalton usually has a great long-run setup, but Indianapolis giving him fits tonight. You know, he runs in another league that they used fixed sets with these cars at these tracks. I think he's getting a little too concentrated on the other one and not working his setups the way he used to here. I just haven't seen the performance coming out of Dalton that I'm used to.
And you can tell right now he's fighting that car. You know, you watch him on corner entry. He's fighting it a loose in condition, which is the scariest thing you can have as he's loose off there.
Yeah, I'm focusing in on Tim Bills. He's up to speed, got a couple laps on his tires. Let's see if he flat tracks it. See if that right side change has made him loose only.
That's a good question. And yeah, he's
still fighting a loose condition, but you know what? He's picking him up, putting him down. 55.3 was his last lap. 55.9 for Mark Arthur's last lap.
And I got a 55.6 as Sam Baumgarten, your leader, flashes across the stripe. So Tim right now is 39 seconds behind Sam. And I don't think the two tires had the effect he was really hoping for.
I think it did. I'm going to be real interested to see where he cycles out when the leaders come to the pits, because we saw when Doug Thompson pit took 4, went a lap down. Tim Bills pit took 2, stayed on the lead lap by a substantial amount. He's only a half a lap back.
We'll see if Sam's going to bring it pit side this time. No, he stays out.
Dalton Kilroe's on pit lane.
Arthur both staying out.
Dalton Kilroe coming out of pit lane. 4-tire stop for the 41 machine. Next one to hit pits, Alex Bercellio. Followed by Nick Okia and Alec Karen.
At his own steering wheel right now, as he got caught behind Miles Morris on the exit of 2.
Who was that?
Miles Morris.
Who got caught behind him?
Tim Bills.
Oh, that did not help.
So, coming out of 4, it's going to be interesting to see what type of lap time Bills is going to put up this time, as he flashes across the yard of bricks for a 55.4.
Not hurting too much.
No, it didn't hurt at all.
Not hurting too much at all. Sam Baumgarten still holding it out. Pit stop still underway. Nick Okia, another 2-tire stop. Tim Bills was another, made the first 2-tire stop. Grumpy Bunce. You know what? Grumpy took 2 tires only his last pit stop. He's hitting pit lane right now. Strategy coming in. They know real estate's important here.
Oh, absolutely. But the thing is, if I have the opportunity, give me 4 Dr. Feelgoods.
Oh, yeah, because I want to make, when it comes time to do what our friend Nate Seeker says, time to make money moves, you want all the grip you can.
Absolutely. I want all the grip off of my car and your car, so you better take 4 too, because I'm going to use you up when I go by you.
No kidding. Top 5, Sam Baumgarten, Mark Arthur, Tex Perry, Kevin O'Brien, and Hoot Baker. Those are your top 5 as they run right now.
And those your cars haven't gone pit side yet.
No, they have not.
And if you take a look at the time gap between Tim Bills and Sam Baumgarten, last time across the yard of bricks, it was only 38 seconds. Tim Bills,
you chopped another second out of him.
Quickly.
The boss, Tex Perry, bringing her pit side. Tex Perry in the pits, looks to be a 4-tire stop.
And Baumgarten finally going pit side. And just barely gets it woed down enough before those cones.
Mark Arthur going around one more time. Baumgartner in pits. Now we get to see how the Tim Bills experiment worked out.
Well, we will when Mark Arthur goes pit side.
Tim Bills was 37 seconds behind. The time it takes you to get onto pit road, get 4 tires, and get off of pit road has been an average of 45, 46 seconds. So that is going to put Tim Bills, if you do the math right, he's going to have about a 6-7 second lead over Samuel Baumgarten, who is taking a 4-tire stop right now. We'll have to see where he cycles out when he comes out.
Well, here's the thing. There's Bills going into 1. Baumgarten just cleared the pit exit cones.
So the Tim Bills experiment with 2 tires and short pitting, I think, is going to pay off for him, as we've got 9 to go to the end of this stage.
Well, it's working right now. The question is it going to stay working?
Well, you know what? The great equalizer, I've said it I don't know how many times, of the caution, that could just come out and just tear us all a new one. And Tim Bills has got nothing but clean, track all the way around him. So all he can do is just run around and hit his marks. As our leader, Mark Arthur's now entering pit lane. That leaves Kevin O'Brien still out on the track. He's going to pick up a point for leading the lap.
Not yet. Mark Arthur beat him across the yard of bricks, even though Arthur was at pit speed. So Kevin O'Brien's going to have to stay out one more lap to get that point.
I don't think he's got another lap in his tank. He's 18 laps out there now.
Well, you got to remember, 3 of those laps were under caution. And the question is, can he get to his pit stall before or after Tim Bills gets to him?
Well, we're about to find out. As he holds it, he brings her down pit side.
Yeah, I think you're right. He probably doesn't have much left in that tank.
And Tim Bills is going to cross the start-finish line before Kevin O'Brien. He's not going to get that point. All right, the Tim Bills experiment we were talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Tim Bills crosses the start-finish line. He is in control of the lead. Sam Baumgarten 4 seconds behind him. But we've seen Sam Baumgarten chop 4 seconds off of Tim Bills in less than, I don't know, man. He's got 7 laps to do it in. Can he do it?
4 brand new tires that only have a handful of laps under caution, and he's got his teammate in front of him.
Yeah, Samuel Baumgarten ran a 54.6 the last lap to Tim Bills' 56.0 flat.
Did Mark Arthur lose a lap?
Mark Arthur extended pit stop, 127 on that last pit stop. Yeah, he stayed in the pits, 54-second pit stop. He had some damage repaired. He must be saving that fast repair for later in the race. But yes, Mark Arthur is the first car a lap down.
But if you take a look at this is perfect for Sam Baumgarten. He's got his teammate in front of him to draft with. To hunt down Tim Bills. He's already broken a second off of that lead.
Yeah, Tim Bills, the Tim Bills experiment may not have paid off as we thought.
Well, it has and it hasn't, because it was 2.5. I can talk tonight. Really, I can, folks. I'm sober. I swear. 2.3 at the yard of bricks the last lap. From Bills to Baumgarten.
And it's down to 1.4 right now.
Right. And you can see Tim Bills.
Cue the Jaws music.
Boys in the truck, do we have that today? Apparently we do. So, the Tim Bills experiment.
Mark Arthur going to get this lap back to Hardway. Ooh, Tim Bills gets it loose. It looked like he might have tapped that outside wall. Mark Arthur had to evade to the inside. Does pay off as Mark Arthur does get that lap back to Hardway, but look now. The race is on for the top spot with 5 to go. Tim Bills is giving up that outside, or giving up that inside lane as he just cannot hold it. 4 fresh tires is the key. Now Tim Bills' experiment is going to see how far is he going to fall back for this stage. Is Alec Marcellio going to be able to cut 12 seconds? I doubt it.
I don't think he's going to be able to cut 12, especially considering we're 5 to go in this stage right now. That
just tells you that Sam Baumgarten and Mark Arthur have got to set up to just just tear this track up.
Well, they've got the long run set. And, you know, Tim Bills, he had to swing for it because he's just been chewing up tires, and he's chewing them up now, even worse, because he's got absolutely nothing left on the left side of that car. The question is, only taking 2, is he going to be able to last the 4.5 laps that he has left before the caution flag flies?
Well, he's going to be able to come in and get 4. That caution flag flies. If he does make it to the end of stage, he's going to be able to come and get 4, a full tank of fuel. And then strategy, you know, this is going to be tight. They got to run 40 laps. You know, once they catch that caution for stage, you're going to, pit 39, 38. Dude, we haven't seen a car be able to go 19 laps. So you're going to see some splash and goes if there is no cautions during that run in that last stage.
And you can get your hate mail coming, folks. That's Byron Rodney, Marietta, Ohio, P.O. Box OU812, considering he just jinxed the field.
I did, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
So far, we've done pretty good. We've only had 1 caution, and now it's through the end of the stage. 6 lead changes, 44 laps left in this race, my friend.
Sorry, I was just checking the chat to see if anybody needed anything. But yeah, no, we're definitely closing in. 3 to go this time for your leader, Sam Baumgarten. He's got his teammate, Mark Arthur, right in front of him. Mark Arthur, last car on the lead lap. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that if I'm Tim Bills, as loose as my car has been all night, I'm at least going to make a track bar adjustment.
Yeah, well, it's one thing to play Monday morning quarterback. It's another thing to actually think about it to do it inside the race. Tim Bills holding down that second position for points for the stage, and if he gets a clean pit stop, could have a chance of jumping Sam Baumgarten in the pits or coming out really close to the front. But he is, like you said, definitely got to make some kind of adjustment from what we've seen. His car fires off great, but just does not have the stamina.
Absolutely. And if you take a look at where he's getting loose, most of the time it's from the center off. So I'm going to take probably half a round out of the... If I were playing his crew chief, I would take half a round out of the right rear spring perch, and I would take a full turn out of the... put a full turn into the... track bar to lower it on the right side.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm hearing Tim clutch that thing for the corners. I think he might be a little concerned about fuel.
He's definitely going to be close, as we're going to have the white flag this time across.
Sam Baumgarten just stretched his lead out. I mean, they're 8 seconds ahead of Tim Bills. Tim Bills is worried about it. He might have put a lower gear in that car. And, to get a little more racier, he might be concerned about making it to the pits after the stage.
Well, that's something you and I have found out the hard way. These cars are happy within a certain rev range, and you can kind of tame a car down by putting a taller gear in it to kind of bring the motor down a little in the RPMs. And you can take what would have been a loose, virtually undrivable setup and actually gain a full tenth just by changing your gearing. So, I mean, anything's possible.
Yeah, he is definitely well on that clutch coming around the corners. He knows he doesn't have a chance at a stage win, but he is going to get second stage points. I don't know, man. 3 seconds. 2.5 seconds. Don't look now. Alex Riccielio's caught Tim Bills.
Well, yellow flag's out, so it's a moot point. Bills, Riccielio, Kilrow, Bunce, Karen, Perry, Okia, Thompson, and Kevin O'Brien getting some stage points.
Yeah, getting that 1 stage point for the 10th spot. Sam Baumgarten sweeping stage 1 and 2. looking for the race win. But, yeah.
You know, the 4 seconds, 5 seconds that Tim Bills gained in the pits, he gave up about 15 on track.
Yeah, but how much of that 15 he gave back was clutching it there at the end to make sure he can actually get around to pit? Because if he doesn't get into the pits on this time, next time around, I don't know if he's going to be able to go around one more time, even under caution.
Well, you know, here's the thing, and this is something that people don't really realize. There's a reason why they pit the left side of the car last. And that's because that's where the pickup is that you plug the fuel can into. You can gain 2-3 gallons of fuel just by the left side of the car being up when you dump that second can in. You know, and because he didn't do that, I don't think he got as much fuel as everybody else did. I mean, yeah, it says he did, but in real life, the reason why they jacked the left side of the car up last is so that side is up so that you get the most fuel into the tank and into the pickup, you know, because those pickups hold about 3 gallons.
Yeah, well, I bet you the whole field's kind of mad at Tim Bills right now because the pace car is coming around turn 4. Sam Baumgarten's right behind it. Tim Bills, okay, looks like he's finally caught up. He was like 18 seconds behind Sam Baumgarten, you know, trying to save fuel to get it around. I don't know if he's got to be so tight on fuel. That thing, you couldn't even get a match to woof on a fume.
Well, we're about to find out as they bring it to the cone, and everybody seems to be holding court.
Tim Bills is out of fuel.
He is out of fuel completely. That car is not running.
So I'm going to go ahead and throw the guess out there right now. He is running a lower gear.
Safe bet, and if you'll excuse me for a brief second, I dare say we're going to be missing a racer next week.
Oh boy. Well, tell you what, let's take a little small break here and we'll be right back. Pay attention to this because this is something I want everyone to know. It's a charity called Richard's Warriors.
The photos of Richard as a child still stand out in my mind. He was cute as a button.
What was mostly unique about Ricky is that he just had the craziest sense of humor.
He loved to cook, and I really thought he would actually come out and be either a chef or go to the military to be a cook.
Richard's mother knew something was wrong one day after school.
You know, he wouldn't want to do anything, and he said his joints were hurting when he was climbing stairs, and they just said he had growing pains. And then one day he had just come home from school and he was just white as a sheet, and I had taken him to the pediatrician and they did a test for strep and they sent us home and said he had strep throat. So then they had done more lab work, and that same day we went from having strep throat to cancer. We were admitted that same day into Levine Children's Hospital, where we spent about a month. I have to keep going back and forth and spend as much time as I could with him overnights. And they started him on chemotherapy, and the first month was pretty rough for a 12-year-old. He was on, you know, multiple medications.
He was in remission. After a bone marrow treatment, his cancer came back aggressively. Leukemia took Richard's life, leaving his parents to lean on their marriage, their family, and close friends. Inspired to give back, Kim began to give back by making gift baskets for children and families fighting cancer. She wants other children to feel loved and feel a sense of a home environment and to know they are not alone. Kim's gift baskets keeps Ricky's spirit alive by helping other families and children in need, putting smiles on children's faces, and helping her and her family cope with their loss. Other families touched by Ricky's stories can contribute to the baskets. These offerings of generosity, comfort, and hope can make a huge impact in the lives of families facing cancer. You can help by donating, volunteering, and fundraising. Go to either richardswarriors.com or contact them directly at 704-756-4967.
Back here again, ladies and gentlemen. Where are we? We're in Indianapolis. What day is it? It's Independence Day. Or Trader's Day, depending on what side of the Atlantic Ocean you're on. And Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Brickyard 250. Stage 2 is in the books. Sam Baumgarten getting the second stage win as well. Lights are off on the pace car. We're going to take this thing green here. Right now, Tony.
As Sam Baumgarten pulls the trigger, Dalton Kilroe getting a great restart. Is that Grumpy?
That is Grumpy up there in second position, ladies and gentlemen.
Well then.
What did you do to that car?
I put some bald eagles in the trunk.
Yeah, well, they're flapping their ass off because he got Grumpy up to second place and trying to dig for more. But Dalton Kilroe's all over the back of him. Don't look now, but look who's, there's a tight little three-car battle between Nick Oki and Tim Bills and Dalton Kilroe. And Mark Arthur has worked his way from the back of the pack. He's up to sixth place and wanting more.
Absolutely. He's got Alec Bacilio to deal with right now. As Bacilio looking to the inside, he's to come down and cross the yard of bricks to complete lap 65.
Bacilio bad. That's called sending it.
And
thank God for fresh tires.
Mark Arthur's car does not like that sound.
No, Mark Arthur's car just, you said it earlier. He's got a long-run set built in that thing, and that's obvious by the way it performs, midway through a run. It does not fire off in the first 4 or 5 laps.
No, it doesn't, and it definitely does not like that outside line.
No, it's so well evidenced by Alec Bacilio getting around him and the boss, Tex Perry, getting around him too. Another nice three-car battle between Alec, Nick Okia, and Tex.
Absolutely. Those guys are just throwing hand grenades at each other right now. With
Tex thought about 3 wide there for half a second.
Give that last lap to Okia in that battle by 1/1000th of a second at the stripe.
That's less.
Sorry, the yard of bricks.
Yeah, that's what, about the width of an eyelash?
About 2 coats of paint.
I'm still looking at this battle going on with Bacilio, Okia, and Tex. These 3 guys are knotted up and just swinging.
As Tex gets a great run off the 3, going to dive into the inside of Okia, and there goes Bacilio, taking all the air off of Okia's nose. Tex able to make the pass because of that. And I'm thinking Mark Arthur might be in trouble. He has Kevin O'Brien all over his back bumper right now.
Well, looking on the right side of his car, I don't see any fender flares on it, Tony.
Well, that means he still hasn't used his fast repair.
Knowing Mark Arthur, he's going to use that probably in the next pit stop. And once again, get the hate mail ready if it stays green.
That's Byron Rodney, Marietta, Ohio, P.O. Box OICU 812.
Back at the front of the field, Sam Baumgarten just run away with this thing. 3-second lead over your second-place driver, Tim Bills. Tim Bills has got Grumpy all over the back of him right now. He got around Grumpy. Grumpy's in a strong third right now. Dalton Kilroe's in fourth. And you got to go another second and a half back to find Alex Bacilio.
I'm thinking Grumpy may have been paying attention to what was being said in our broadcast.
Yeah, we're going to have to tell him, turn the microphone down, but he might have took technical lessons from you there at that last one.
Yeah, the way that car is handling, he's definitely a lot more stable from the center off right now. So I'm thinking he made the right call under that last pit
and that's really what you want to do. You know, these guys were at Pocono last week, and they're seeing 4 turn 2s of Pocono today.
Yes.
And yeah, he might have made that right adjustment for it. And you're saying he's a lot more stable center off. Well, you know, I want to say it was Senna that said that. I think it was Senna that gave us this quote that said, "Race car drivers, champion drivers, drive it into a corner, but legends drive it off."
Yes. And the other thing you might want to look at, Byron, is I'm looking at the weather station right now, and that wind is gusting still at 16 miles an hour out of the west, but the track temperature has gone down 20 degrees since we started this thing.
Well, you know what? That just might be playing into the handling characteristics. If these guys set the cars up on a cooler track, this track condition's starting to come to them. But is it going to come to them enough as we got, 31 to go? Hello?
Definitely need at least two trips down pit road.
Sorry, I think we had us a technical glitch there for a second, folks. I lost everything, and now I'm back.
But yeah, no, we're looking. You're going to need to take the car down pit road at least twice.
And that last one's going to be a stop and go if we don't get that caution.
And I think we're going to need to send a new fire suit to Grumpy's pit stall, because I think some poo may have just come out with what he did coming off of turn 2.
Well, let's see if we can get an instant replay. Camera 1, what have you got in the instant replay coming off of turn 2? Yeah, we kind of got it a little loose coming off of there.
A little loose?
Okay, we got it a lot loose, but that was one hell of a save.
Yes, it was, as those bald eagles are working overtime right now.
Yeah, well, they had the wings stretched out for that one. Back at the front, Sam Baumgarten, 3.6 lead over the rest of the field. Tim Bills, then another 2 seconds back to Grumpy, another second back to Dalton Kilroe, another half a second back to Alex Bercellio, and the closest battle, look at who's all over the back of Alex Bercellio, and that's the boss, Tex Perry.
Well, with what I know Tex was told under that last caution, I think he's driving a little bit pissed off right now. And I don't blame him.
Yeah, well, we're going to be flies on the wall for that one, but we're not going to be able to bring it to you. It's going to be a headline for you. Tune in next week when we go to, where are we going next week? I think we are Kentucky.
That sounds right.
Yep, we are in Kentucky for 200 laps of Kentucky, the Bluegrass 300. Haven't been to Kentucky in a long time. For me as a broadcaster and a driver, I can't wait for that one.
Well, now wait a second. Didn't you just tell me you just picked up in Kentucky last week?
I drove right by that track a couple of times last week, but I have yet to. I haven't broadcast a race from there in a long time, and I haven't driven there. Oh, Tex gets it out to the outside wall, taps it with the left rear or the right rear of his car.
Yeah, that's not going to help.
No, but he did manage to get around Bercellio.
Yeah, but how long can he keep it there?
Well, we're fixing to find out, because Bercellio is right back all over him again. Closest battle on the track. That and that battle between the 88 of Alec Karen and, the 88 of Alec Karen and Doug Thompson.
Yeah, you're not live.
Yes, I am.
Yeah,
Doug Thompson is half a second back behind Alec Karen.
Yeah, but you could fit your tractor trailer between those two cars.
Well, half a second is a lot here at this track. 11 laps on the leader's tires. You got to wonder what his strategy is going to be. Is he going to stretch it out about 7 more to take him to 81, and then hope and pray that we don't go green, white, checker?
If I'm Sam Baumgarten right now, just in case we do go green, white, checker, I'm pitting as late as I possibly can. I know I've got a long run set, so I want the freshest tires I can get going into any possible overtime situations.
If I'm not mistaken, Sam Baumgarten in extreme fuel saving mode right at the moment.
That's what it sounds like. And you can tell that he's doing something that car's not used to doing. That car's not set up to be clutched, and it's kind of upsetting the chassis when he does it.
Yeah, he's clutching in before he does that corner in, so there's no engine drag on those rear tires as he makes his corner entry. His car's just flowing free, and it is upset the balance on his corner entry. I can see it.
But the thing is, what type of fuel save is Tim Bills doing is we're about to find out as your leader, Sam Baumgarten, flashes across the stripe. Tim Bills, he's still gaining on Tim Bills. Bills is losing time. He's got it down to it's over 5 seconds now.
Yeah, they're running laps within a tenth of each other. That last lap was 56.3 for Sam Baumgarten and 56.4 for Tim Bills. 56.2 for Grumpy.
But yeah, these guys are definitely going into fuel conservation mode right now, just to try to see exactly how many laps they can get, and if there's any at all possibility that they can one stop.
We're down to 24 to go.
That's a big ask.
24 to go right now as he crosses the stripe.
And Tim Bills has just picked up a second and a half.
Yeah, Sam Baumgarten definitely got into extreme fuel save mode. Mark Arthur, we haven't talked about him for a little bit. Back in the 8th position, he did work his way up to 4th as far up as 4th after that stage restart. Might have seen that outside wall a little bit more. Seems to be struggling. He cannot catch Nick Okia. Or he's in extreme fuel saving mode as well.
That's exactly what I was about to say, because I've been following Mark for about 2 laps now, and he's doing the same thing Sam is, and that's clutching on corner entry, and he's fighting that car right now. You know, it's for anybody that's a dirt racer out there, it's having the same effect on Mark and Sam's cars as if you let a dirt car get down on the bars. It's completely upsetting the balance on the rear of that car, and the chassis is going, "What are you doing to me? What are you doing to me?"
And the driver's sitting there saying, you know what, just shut up, go with it.
And shut up and take it.
I'm trying to get you to the end of this race.
As they are working lap 78 right now.
Only
Who's
2 cautions so far tonight.
Do?
And those were for both stages. I got to say, I'm mildly impressed.
I'm very impressed right now. You know, the only two, like you said, the only 2 cautions we've seen, the 2 stage cautions. But there's still a lot of racing left in this one. But the thing is, who's going to blink first, and what are they going to do?
22 to go. It's going to be interesting to see if he can make it around for 18 to go. If he can go 18 to go, we can get to the end of the race on 1 stop. You got to figure that's what everyone's doing right now. Tex the Boss Perry's caught the back of Dalton Kilrow. I don't think Tex is in fuel saving mode.
No, Tex knows.
Tex has got 1 less lap in his tank than the rest of the leaders.
Well, the thing is, Tex has run enough laps here. Him and Bunky both have run enough laps here to know that you got a better chance of seeing God herself than seeing this race, A, stay green, and B, be able to go on 1 stop from here.
Well, they just might be meeting the Almighty because we haven't had a caution.
Yet.
Get your hate mail. Ready? Send email at this time to ou812.com. Your ESBN to OU812.
Fight me, see what happens.
Yeah, it's gonna happen, Shorzy.
Oh, boy.
That's all I'm playing to that one, folks.
Yeah, we're not going the rest of the way there.
No.
PG-13, my friend. 17 laps on these tires. 21 to go. Sam Baumgarten doing his best to stretch that tank. I mean, he is definitely in the middle of an engineering project to find out where the bottom of that thing is.
Well, the interesting part
He clutched it as he hit the start-finish line that lap.
Yeah, he's gone into extreme fuel conservation. And don't look now, but you know, Tim Bills is getting reeled in by Dalton Kilroe, and Kilroe can't clutch it because he's got a pack of Andrew Wolves right behind him.
Yeah, in the manner of Tex Perry and Grumpy Bunce. As my internet cuts completely out again.
He works it to the outside as they haul it off into turn number 3. Perry on the high side, Kilroe on the inside as they are still side by side. Bacilio, Alex Bacilio working the inside of the Grumpster. Grumpy going pit side. Grumpy, the first one to blink. And who's that going with him? Is that Okia? No, it's not.
Bunce is in. Bills is in.
That's who it was, Tim Bills. So Bills the first one to blink.
Don't look now. Baumgarten's held that out there 19 laps. Sorry for the technical issue, folks. My internet dropped. Must be an awful lot of people online watching a lot of stuff because they're forced to stay home this holiday.
Well, Tim Bills the first one to blink. Grumpy going with him. And Tim Bills took 4 that time. I think he learned his lesson from the last time. Got that extra little bit of fuel.
Hey, here comes Baumgarten's going to pit, and that's going to leave him with 18 to go.
It's going to leave him with exactly 18 to go.
That's going to be a tight race for the end.
And this is one of those times where you need it to stay green if you're Sam Baumgarten and if you're Tim Bills.
Well, I threw the caution curse out there.
What happened to Grumpy?
Grumpy
popped for speeding in.
Yep. You have got to hit your marks, especially when it comes to the money stop, ladies and gentlemen. That's when the pressure's on. You know it's the last pit stop you're going to make for the race. The pressure is on to hit your marks, and just that extra attention you're trying to pay to it. It's what a heartbreak for the Grumpster.
Unfortunately, 5 miles over the limit at the cones.
Poor guy.
So that's a hold in his pit. That's going to basically. He's got to hope for somebody to step on their own junk to be able to salvage a top 10 out of this. And Mark Arthur bringing it pit side. Just barely getting credited with the lap led there.
Mark Arthur bringing it pit side. Sam Baumgarten is going to pick up the lead with a...
No, he's not. Tim Bills is.
Tim Bills is going to pick up the lead, but don't look now. The Dr. Squatch machine is right on his bumper.
Yes, they were side by side coming across the stripe. 2 1,000ths of a second difference at the stripe between Baumgarten and Bills.
Yeah, but here's the thing. We got 17 to go. Tim Bills has already got 2 laps missing out of his fuel tank. Sam Baumgarten's only got 1. Tim's going to have to go into saving mode long before the 53 does. Unless the 53 starts saving now. And, Tim Bills to the outside wall.
Yeah, that's not going to help his cause.
No, not at all.
And don't look now, but Mark Arthur out on track, and he has used his fast repair finally.
Yep, he is going to get everything he can get out of the number 12 machine. With 16 laps to go, he has got enough fuel to make it to the end with a spare for a green wide checker.
You know, that's the second most annoying thing you possibly could do to me during the broadcast.
Oh, what's the most annoying thing?
Drink moonshine.
Well, that ain't happening tonight, but...
Anyways.
I gotta go for number 2 then, green wall checker.
Mark Arthur has to make up 17 seconds on Bills and Baumgarten.
Yeah, but Mark Arthur does not have to go into fuel-saving mode Tim Bills and Sam Baumgarten may have to go into.
Right, and neither does Tex Perry. And neither does Alex Vacilio.
Yeah. Dalton Kilroe, Alex Vacilio, Tex Perry, and Nick Okia. Interesting strategies playing out here tonight. The field all stretched out. Sam Baumgarten keeping Tim Bills, within shouting distance. He's 0.8 of a second behind him. Another 4 back to Dalton Kilroe, and then a half back to Alex Vacilio. 3.4 back from there. 6 point. Yeah, they're stretched longer than. Well, I'll let you go ahead and draw the conclusions.
Hey, don't look at me. I'm not drunk enough to do those high-powered Gazentas.
Neither am I. I'm surprisingly sober tonight.
Exactly. So, if our illustrious leader is watching, Sam, we need more Guinness up here in the booth.
Yeah. No, wait a minute. That's that dark, funky tasting stuff. Hey,
Guinness.
Sam, if you're in the clubhouse, coloring with your crayons. Tony wants his Twinkies and grab me the bottle of bourbon off the top of the bar.
No. Hold on. See, it's Guinness, the beer you eat with a fork.
Yeah, I know. It's that funky tasting stuff.
Well, the other thing is, what you do is you take a glass of Guinness and a shot of Bailey's Irish Cream, and it's called an Irish Car Bomb.
That just don't sound right.
Tastes great.
Brings me back to another memory. Tastes great. Last filling. Tastes great. Never mind.
Right.
Moving on now.
Don't fruit the beer. Like a friend of mine posted the other day. You said you were sick. No, I said I have a case of Corona. You bring the lime. But anyways, Tim Bills still showing the way. Sam Baumgarten keeping him honest. Dalton Kilroe 4 seconds back, and he's under a little bit of pressure from Alex Vacilio right now.
Yeah, Alex Vacilio just staying right in his tire tracks, not wanting to get too over aggressive, not wanting to burn a little too much fuel, because there's a question on whether these boys are going to be able to make it to the end. I think we're going to see some cars maybe run out of gas before they cross the start-finish line, unless the great equalizer, the caution, comes out, which I'm kind of doubting at this point.
Well, when you talk about drivers in the ARCA cars, you're going to be hard-pressed to find a group of guys that know how to handle this car any better than these guys here in the NASCOM.com or NASCOMonline.com series.
They've been at it for a long time. They've been doing it with open setups for a long time. and they do have a love and put some effort into their craft.
And
To say
Nick
the
Okia
least.
under heavy pressure right now from Mark Arthur. As they're coming out of turn number 3, and that wind still gusting out of the west between 13 and 17 miles an hour out of the west. So that's really blasting them as they come through the short shooting 3.
Yeah, it's changed the handling on the cars a little bit for certain. Don't look now, but Sam Baumgarten has closed that gap big time to Tim Bills.
Yes, he has. And the other thing to keep in mind, too, the track temperature is now down to 91 degrees Fahrenheit. Which means every one of these cars is a lot tighter than it was when we started this thing.
Yeah, so whoever's been doing the adjustments, or all those loose cars you've seen, just like Tim Bills, we saw him real loose earlier on. His car's not kicking out so bad now.
Eesh. I'm watching the battle between Okia and Arthur, and that almost ended poorly. Nick Okia tried to shut the door. The only problem is Mark Arthur was there. Luckily, he saw it in time.
These two just throwing bombs at each other at the moment. And internet takes crap again. And we're back again. Gonna have a talk with my internet provider.
It's funny, I thought I was the one that had the term Wi-Fi in their internet
There's
connection.
no Wi-Fi going on here, but something's going on with the neighborhood because I lose connection, or the server, I don't know. I lose it completely, and then we pop back up. But when we come back up, I'm taking a look right now. Sam Baumgarten all over the back of Tim Bills with 9 laps to go. Tim Bills is going to have to stretch that tank to 19 laps. He's under fire as hard as he is right now, having to defend. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it.
He's not. Because Sam Baumgarten is, right now, as far as fuel calculations go, Sam Baumgarten can make it to lap 102.
And we've seen Tim Bills have to we've seen him run out of fuel. Seemed like a lap sooner than anyone else. Either he stayed on it that whole run and didn't save, or he's got the wrong gear in that car. And, sit and duck, man.
Well, let me see what I can find out here.
Investigative journalism getting ready to happen, folks.
Because I do have a helmet cam on Sam Baumgarten's car. And he's turning right around 7,700 for RPMs. And Tim Bills, let's see what he turns down the front stretch
Sam
here.
Baumgarten getting around Tim Bills in the meantime.
In the meantime, as I'm looking, and I can just barely make it out from the gyro cam. 8,080, just over 8,000 RPM for Tim Bills. So yeah, he's definitely got a lower gear in that car, twisted way more RPMs than Sam Baumgarten. So Baumgarten is, just based on the gearing, should be good for another lap over what Tim Bills can do.
Yeah, it's getting interesting all over the place. That is our closest battle on the track, is our leader, Tim Bills and Sam Baumgarten. Everyone's stretched out all over the complex here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The next closest battle will be Alex Porcellio trying to catch up to the 41 of Dalton Kilrow.
Yeah, and Kilrow looks like he might still be a little on the loose side. as he brings it down the front straightaway. He was dirt tracking a little bit on corner exit, coming off of 4, but not as bad as we've seen some cars doing tonight. And he was completely in a 4-wheel drift there, coming off of 1.
Meanwhile, back at the front, Samuel Baumgarten in command of the field. Mark Arthur worked his way back up to sixth place, but he has got 16 seconds to make up before he can catch Samuel Baumgarten. Only thing that's going to help him would be a caution, as we're coming up on 5 to go.
5 to go, and Mark Arthur just trying to salvage whatever points he can get out of this right now. We've seen different strategies try to play out. Unfortunately, I'm thinking under that last green flag stop that Mark had to make, I'm thinking he didn't just have extra repairs. It was the mandatory stuff that got him. Because he had tagged the wall a couple of good wallops during that second stage.
And with this new damage model, he could have whopped the rear end clean out of it.
Well, I'm thinking he probably bent the track bar, and they had to swap the track bar out on it. As Baumgarten crossed the yard of bricks for the start lap 97.
And if I'm not mistaken, Sam Baumgarten just went into
seconds to the good.
Yeah, and I think he just went into fuel saving mode as well. I know Tim Bills is in full-on fuel save.
Oh, absolutely.
Even in full-on fuel save, I don't think Tim Bills is going to be able to make it to the end of the race.
It's going to be close. If we go green, white, checker, everybody's going to have to pit.
I think Sam Baumgarten's got the 4 laps in the tank.
Well, Sam Baumgarten...
Mark Arthur definitely has the 4. He definitely has the range to make it.
Mark Arthur can make it. Sam Baumgarten can make it under regular conditions.
A green-white checker is going to kill him.
Yeah, a green-white checker is going to kill everybody except Mark Arthur, James Bunce, and Doug Thompson. Those are the only ones that are going to be good under a green-white checker condition.
And Doug Thompson's being scored a lap down, so he would be lucky dogged or wave around either way. And he'd still be starting at the end of the long line.
There's Grumpy right in front of your leader, Sam Baumgarten, right now, as we are coming up on the popsicle sticks. They worked their way out of turn 3 and into turn number 4. Grumpy doing everything he can to stay on the lead lap. Sam Baumgarten right all over him. Now would be a good time to go into the helmet cam that I've got on Baumgarten's helmet and take a look at what the rear spoiler of Grumpy's car says.
All right, heading into the helmet cam. Not being able to do it, let's take a look at the nose. Still, Sam needs to get his butt up there so we can read it.
Oh, you're going to love them if they can be read. I'm not sure. I know we can get the high-speed drones up there.
I don't think the high-speed drone's going to quite catch it.
Well, the white bumper sticker that's on the rear spoiler says, "I used to be an honor student. I don't know what happened."
Oh, there you go.
And the yellow one says, "I change lanes, drive slow, and brake for no apparent reason." Anyways, white flag is out one more time around, and this one is going to be in the books for your leader, Sam Baumgarten. Missed last week, going to make up for it in spades tonight if he's able to hang on for just about 2 more miles.
He's not making an issue of trying to put Grumpy a lap down. He's happy to stay right there because he knows he's got 5 seconds on Tim Bills. Tim Bills, 5 seconds back. Dalton Kilrow, it's going to be interesting. Tim Bills looks like he's going to make it across the start-finish line. Dalton Kilrow's not going to catch him. So great effort by the 37 of Tim Bills, but hats off to Sam Baumgarten, who has just had the car to beat all night long. Took stage 1, took stage 2, and looks to sweep all of them as he comes across the start-finish line for the last time. Sees the checkered flag in the air. Call this one Sam Baumgarten, your race winner.
Baumgarten not getting the qualifying run he was hoping, started 8th, and was able to, like you said, take stage 1, take stage 2, and take the final checker. Tim Bills hanging on for second place. Dalton Kilrow in 3rd, Alex Vicilio 4th, and the boss man himself, Mr. Tex Perry, driving the only Toyota in the field, hanging on for 5th.
You mean the Toyota badge Chevrolet? Mark Arthur coming home in that.
Part, sir, you'll have to discuss that with management.
Yeah, Mark Arthur bringing her home in the 6th spot. Dick Okia comes home 7th. Alec Karen in the 88. It's going to be 8th. Kevin O'Brien coming home in the 9th position. And don't look now, but look who rounded up the top 10. Mr. Hoop Baker bringing it in for a top 10 finish.
All right, our favorite Hokie getting a top 10. Definitely a better night than he was thinking he was going to have. So hats off to Hoop.
Yeah. Taking a look at Sam Baumgarten as he runs it around there a little bit. He's going to do his burnouts. I'll see if I can catch him in the middle of doing that little spot. But in the meantime, what we need to do is we need to find number 41 driver, Dalton Kilrow. And
I got him.
See if we can reach out to the 41. See if you can get him.
Well, I got him, but the thing is, I believe I got Mr. Sam Baumgarten waiting for you, Byron.
Yeah, as he kind of wings that thing around, lays down some smoke, couple of donuts, watch out for the wall, show him how to do it in a narrow track there, Mr. Sammy. Congratulations on the win.
Thanks, guys. I can't believe I made it on fuel, to be honest.
We can't believe it either, but we did notice the difference in RPMs between you and the second place car at Tim Bills. He had the wrong gear in it the whole way.
Tim Bills is completely out of fuel.
Yeah, he pitted a lap before I did, and I just knew if I could save enough fuel, I probably would have been able to get him. So I'm just glad we had one in the tank. I still got a lap left, boys.
Yeah, well, you know, we noticed there was a difference in gearing because you were able to roll the straights at what, 7,700 RPM? Did you say there, Tony?
He set in the draft. I had him at just over 7,700 RPM.
Yeah, and we were watching Tim Bills rolling it over $8,000, getting down that same stretch of road. So we knew it was going to be a fuel issue. Man, you know what? That's the way to win a race, man. You took the first stage. You took the second stage. You stretched the fuel. Man, we watched you saving it like crazy before your final pit stop. Congratulations on the race win, man. Anyone you want to shout out to?
Yeah, Dr. Squatch, of course, Top Flight Computers. Make sure you guys use Race 15 for 15% off your first order at Dr. Squatch. I'd like to thank Mark for helping with the setup. Unfortunately, he pulled a boo-boo and put the wrong gear in his car before the race. But I'd also like to shout out his mom and sister for watching the broadcast. Thanks for the support, guys.
Yeah, we like having them along. You know what? Next week, Kentucky, back to pretty much standard track, 1.5 miles. What's your thoughts?
Well, I don't know. It's a repave, isn't it?
I believe Kentucky is a repave.
It's going to be new to all of us then, man. I'm not really too familiar with Kentucky. Every time I've been there, I seem to get wrecked out. So let's hope that doesn't happen this go around. But we'll try and bring them whatever we can.
And that's your race winner, Mr. Sam Baumgarten. Congratulations, my friend. Can't wait to see what the points do because you know what? You dropped 2 spots after last week. You might be moving up another 2 spots tonight. Mark Arthur finishing in the 6th spot And Dalton Kilrow, who's the second, he finished third. But you got the race win. You got the most laps left. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, I think it's actually going to be just an interesting rest of the season. I mean, with Dalton trying to play his fuel strategies and Mark always being super fast, I think we got a really good championship battle heating up. So I'm excited for it. I wish Mark would have remembered to put the right gear in, and it probably would have been his race tonight. But, hey, we'll take a win.
Well, there you go, man. Your race winner, everyone, Sam Baumgarten.
User was moved out of your channel.
All right. Coming up in the booth with us next, second place. The guy who we saw it might have been a gear change issue. It might have been, I don't know, man, but Tim, hard luck. You had a car that looked like it fired off like a cannon, like it was on rails, man, but it kind of gave up on you in the long run. Tell me about your race.
Yeah, overall, we had a good night. Car could have been a little better, but hey, second place is nothing to frown at. We're happy with it, and Sam had a really good car. Wasn't nobody going to catch him.
Yeah, I was watching early in the race, man. The track temp was way high up there. It was like 120 plus on the course, and it looked like coming off of turn 1 and turn 3, your car was just. It looked like a dirt modified at a dirt track. It was so loose, but as the track cooled down, I didn't see that so much in your car. Did the conditions come to you, or were you able to make all the adjustments you needed on it?
The conditions helped some, but I also made a bunch of. I threw the kitchen sink at it in the pit lane too. So when we had them, when we pitted, I was just pitting for 2 tires on them short runs, and the car was horrible. It was just hold on for dear life. So with 4 tires, it was a whole lot better.
Yeah, 4 Dr. Feelgoods are a lot better than 2, that's for certain. But, man, congratulations on the podium finish. You're definitely going to move up in the point standings a bit. You're currently 11th now. I'm thinking with some guys that didn't make the race tonight, I'm thinking of probably seeing 3 or 4 spots moving up in your future. Anyone you want to shout out to?
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to my sponsor, H&H Sign Supply, and justforcrafters.com. The guys over wheeling and dealing motorsports, and Tex for putting on this league. He does a great job, and then you guys do a great job announcing and broadcasting as well.
Well, you guys give us some great things to talk about every week. The thing that impressed me most tonight, Tim, was the fact that the only 2 cautions we saw tonight were the stage cautions, and that is very impressive here at the Brickyard in any form of motorsport.
Yeah, who'd have thunk that one?
Yeah, that was nice. It definitely was nice.
All right, man. Second place. That's your second place driver there, everyone, Mr. Tim Bells. And we got one more we need to talk to, and that's going to be, a guy I kind of miss talking to. Used to be able to talk to him an awful lot. Don't get to talk to him as much anymore because, I don't know, he's been not concentrating on set building. Who knows? But he got there. He's on the podium. Great run, man. Coming home third place, Dalton Kilrow. Tell me about your race.
Well, I was just trying to play some strategy, and just last couple minutes practice, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try making a gear change, see what that's going to do. And it made the car more stable, and it was quick, but it wasn't quick enough. I was just thinking of trying to save just a little bit more fuel because I wasn't sure how everybody else was going to do with a different gear. So I was trying to play a game hoping they'd run out on the white, but is what it is. I'll take P3.
Well, you know what? Just being a quick question, was that gear change higher or lower?
Yes.
Okay, there you got your answer, folks. He's going to hold those cards close to the vest, and I'm not going to force him to show them. But yeah, we did see guys run different gears in this thing, and it came down to a fuel mileage race. And you know what? I'm going to say he got the higher gear in there, if I'm not mistaken. Tony, what do you say?
I can either confirm or deny these allegations, Senator.
Okay. Hey, Dalton, anyone you want to shout out to tonight, man?
I got to thank Daddy-O's Barbershop for being my sponsor for pretty much every league I run in at this point. I got to thank Michael Falk racing designs. He made my new paint for tonight. I love it. It looks a whole hell of a lot better
It
than
looks
the other
sharp.
one.
I will give you that.
I gotta thank you guys for doing the broadcast, Tex and the other admins for putting on the league, and everybody out here for keeping it nice, caution-free, clean race, and having a blast out there.
All right, man. Hey, you know what? Kentucky next week, and that's a repave. No one's going to know what that's going to do. What are you thinking?
I don't know.
Well, there you go, folks. A huge I don't know. All right, man. That's your third place driver, Dalton Kilrow. Gotta wait and see what these points are going to look like when we're said and done, updating them and all and everything. That's the end of the race there, my friend. Tony, what's your thoughts?
Well, I'm not sure if he can hear us or not. I'm not sure if he's got his ears on, but I do want to definitely commend the Chief Cook and Bottle Washer here of the NASCOM Online Racing League, Mr. Tex Perry, for the talent pool that he's put together. He definitely needs to be proud of all these drivers tonight. Just, with the side-by-side action we saw all night, the respect, the give and take, just the hard racing, but the clean racing. And that's the biggest thing that impresses me week in and week out with the NASCOM Online guys. And I know, Byron, you and I have talked about this before. This is one of the cars that iRacing has you run as soon as you graduate from rookies. This is a D-class fixed series car.
Yeah, but this league shows you, man, how much skill it takes to actually get them around here, especially in the open setups. And then only 2 cautions tonight, and that's for stage endings. Hats off, man. That's, like you said earlier, that's a feat in any man's book, any form of racing at this track.
Absolutely.
Week in, week out, I can't say enough about these guys. I can't believe we just did 100 laps here as loose as the track and the cars were, caution-free, other than the stages. I can't believe it.
Yeah, man, you guys put on a class act, a class show. And for being stretched out around the track, we had some battles going on, and the strategy calls, man, that kept us on the edge of our seat a bit.
You should have been in the car.
Yeah,
No thanks.
No thanks. Not it. Hey, next week, Tex, Kentucky, man, repave. What do you think?
By the way.
What's that?
Points are updated.
Oh, let me hit the refresh button. Ooh, Dalton Kilrow to the top. Mark Arc the second, Samuel Baumgarten in close third, man. Only 12 points separating the top 3.
Right.
Then you got to drop another 100 and something points back to the number 4 spot, the boss, Tex Perry.
I just want to make it to the end. That's my whole goal.
Yeah, well, we got a hell of a battle at the top 3, man. Kentucky next week, but you know what? This one's in the books. Happy Independence, everyone.